Hey guys, Riku here. I'm gonna be showing off my Path of Exile Cold Discharger build. I'm gonna start off with the passive tree, move on to items, links, and gems. With this build I started out with a witch. I went over the mana, over to energy shield, and got myself Heart of Ice. Then I went for, well, I went full ES in the beginning. I didn't take any life notes. So I just got Blast Radius, I got Elemental Dominion, obviously I went CI, I got Ghost Reaver, both nullification nodes, especially these two nodes here, which is 16% increased maximum energy shield. That's better than if you would get to 6%. I got the Frenzy nodes, down here, in the middle, and all the way at the bottom. I got Iron Reflex, Diamond Flesh, and Unwavering Stance. I only got as far as getting Volpacked because I ripped. If I wouldn't have ripped, I would have gotten these 5 energy shield nodes. Then I would have gone for Savant. These 12% area of effect nodes, the mana regeneration, the 50% increased armor, then the 10% reduced mana cost of skills, which is semi-important later on, especially when it comes to the 6 slings and when you don't really have a big mana pool. Then you have to have reduced mana, or the passives at least, to help you out a bit. After that, if I would have gotten any higher than that, I would have gotten these 5 energy shield nodes, just to increase the buffer again even more. And towards level 100, if it would fit, I would have gotten Inner Force. That pretty much sums up the passive tree. Pretty basic. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I am. I would have gotten Coordination, Assassination, Spell Power, and Freeze in the Shadow tree, which are very good damage nodes and crit nodes. Especially the crit nodes, you'll need them apart from the freeze chance. Especially when it comes to big mob packs, you really want to freeze everything. Alright, to the gear and gems. I don't have the best gear, it's pretty much garbage, apart from like 2 items, which are the 5 links. So, I have my Discharge on my staff. Later on I would have gotten the Tyrant Shiver, because it gives really nice bonus to cold damage, and the +1 to cold gems. I run Discharge, Cold Penetration, Conk Effect, Elemental Proliferation, and Life Leech on the staff then. Both Cold Pen, Elemental Prolif, and Discharge will get that +1 because both, all 3 of them have the cold in it, the cold attribute. I run Freezing Pulse on my chest, linked with Greater Multiple Projectile, obviously. Mana Leech. But here it's very important that you get Mana Leech as a high quality gem as you can. Preferably 20, of course. You need the Mana Leech. Faster Casting is linked to it, Life Leech. As a 6th link, I would have added Power Charge on crit, just for the extra bang on Discharge. And of course, Elemental Prolif, the Chalk, and you do even more damage. By the way, I would have added increased area of effect on Discharge. Support gems. I'm running Molten Shell and Blood Rage on increased duration and Life Leech. Should be a 4 link. I run Dual Curses, thanks to the Windscream. I use Frostbite and Elemental Weakness on reduced mana and faster casting. On my helmet, I run my auras, Discipline, Grace, and possibly Determination, depending on the mana pool. With my current mana pool, I wouldn't really be able to sustain Determination alongside with the other 2 auras. It should be at least 900 plus mana pool to see if it works. Gear-wise, I don't really have the best gear, especially on my helmet and gloves. They're pretty bad, apart from the resistances and the little bit of energy shield they give off. My amulet is pretty decent. Gives off casting speed, which is pretty good for freezing bolts. Has increased armor and energy shield. I get a really good resistance ring with a little bit of energy shield. And this resistance ring, which I later would have gotten replaced with a dream fragment. The belt is completely garbage, but 36 energy shield and some cold resistance is pretty good. These are just some temporary flasks. These are not final. A topaz flask, I was gonna have remove shock or remove chill with surgeon on it, so you recharge it pretty quick when you freeze pulse. A pretty simple surgeon's granite flask should be exactly like this. Removes frozen and chilled and recharges one charge when you crit. This granite should be a surgeon 100% armor during flask effect. This year, I'm still debating what the mana flask could be. Usually it should also be a surgeon, but I don't know what the suffix could be. And last but not least, the Quicksilver flask should have a surgeon and a staunching on it, so you remove bleed when you use it, which is for me pretty standard on any build, because that bleed is really annoying. I know how it works and how it kills people out there, and they run around pretty insane just quicksilvering themselves without a staunching on it, and they die on my screen. I've seen it several times. Well, for the next clip I'm going to send you over to Docs, and you'll see my Discharger in action.